extremely from the north to south, from the Western Hemisphere going down, speaking down on Africa. And it's about time, which I agree with you, we need to decolonize our curriculum, what our children study. The thing is, there are things that are pretty useful, like learning a skill, than learning how many capital cities there are in the world. Although general knowledge is very important and we cannot downplay it, it's very useful, but it should not come to the detriment of things that matter in life. Because you see, when we look into a curriculum of primary school in the UK, or for example, they are all geared into preparing the students for their future. If you go to learn to some very targeted courses, before, I know I'm a journalist, but once upon a time I worked in the university as an administrator. And I remember in our university, we used to have, they used to call them like early specialists. So for example, if you grew up, like you are a very well-known singer, they had a curriculum whereby they allowed a university student to do 1 year less than 3 years of a degree course to factor their experience and professional input. If you're a well-known musician, you could join to the university. A course that will last 3 years will last you 2 years. And you qualify because you combine your personal experience, your professional input, plus what you have to study in the university, early specialists. So sometimes you look into life and you know big disconnect between what one is studying and their passion and also what they end up working as. So if there was harmonization of educational process and harmonization of all these spheres of life, whereby you can pick up if someone wants to become an artist. What have they done? Have they done practical work? Yes. Why do they spend 3 years for a degree course in art, studying art, as compared to someone who takes to what they have done? Those are things that you come across, factors that matter quite a lot in progressing people's lives. So decolonization of curriculum is pretty much important. But you see, I'll speak about the media as well. Media tends to be an agenda setter. Media has been given many names. Agenda setter, media has been given names as a power without responsibility. Power without responsibility. It used to be called power without responsibility when it's used negatively. You talked about international media, how they cover Africa, for example. Power without responsibility is where they set an agenda and they begin to affect the narrative that we all see ourselves through. And that is not good for Africa, not good for any country. Look at it this way. You have international channels. They're going to cover Africa, but they are made up their mind what they want to see. I will pick up an example in Kenya, for example. You remember the time of the pirates? The Somalis pirates? The ones who were kidnapping the whole boat and asking for ransom. And I think one time it was hilarious. They kidnapped a whole big ship carrying tanks for war. And the irony is that someone used a gun to kidnap a whole ship carrying tanks of war. A gun. And when they were given the ransom, when they were escaping, they used a rockety boat. With their dollars, they both capsized in water. So you look at all this, it had become a very big business within the East Africa region. Until now, what was going on